Hey there. Are you a senior applying to college and you need help with your activities list on the Common App? Well, never fear, you have come to the right video. My name is Kristina of Ivy Lounge Test Prep. For the past 15 years, I have helped students like you all around the globe dramatically raise their SAT and ACT test scores and write very compelling college application essays and Common App applications and ultimately get into the colleges of their dreams. So, in today's video, we are going to go through my 6-step process for writing a killer activities list on the Common App so that you can put your best foot forward for all of your dream schools. Are you ready? I am. So, the activities list on your Common App, it kind of reminds me of really outdated social media websites that, like the old version of Facebook, or like stuff you've never heard of, like MySpace and Friendster. Like, I know, dating myself, but on these super outdated, you've never probably even seen them sites, you'd basically list like all of these things, like how you consumed culture, like your favorite movies, your books, favorite quotes, favorite songs, things like that. And it was a form of self expression that kind of got to a core truth. Like, no matter how open minded we think we are, we kind of, size up people by how they like consume culture, what activities they do, right? Like, that person is a Swiftie, hard pass, right? Like, whether or not that makes any sense or not, it's sort of human nature a little bit. Admissions officers aren't like judging your activities list, but they are using this like quick glance list of things you do to mentally put you in certain like buckets of categories as they read the rest of your application. Okay. So think of it this way. Each college needs to fulfill certain needs on its campus. There's a marching band to fill. There's a soccer team. There's, I don't know, a ceramics club, various political clubs, computer science departments. They need to make sure that they have genuinely committed students filling out all of those activities and departments on their campus, right? They need to know if you're going to be auditioning for a cappella or if you're going to be the type of person who's running for student government, right? Otherwise, they might end up with like too many altos on their campus and not enough people wanting to like balance the student activities budgets. Okay. So, in essence, your activities list really has two jobs to it. So, the first is it should give the college admissions reader like a sense of what spaces and roles you'll occupy once you're on their campus, right? And also, number two, this goes without saying, it should also show how you would be a major asset in those places, spaces, and roles. Make sense? Okay, so let us get started with my 6 steps to a killer activity section on the Common App. So the first step, you are going to brainstorm, okay? So grab your favorite like colored pens or pencil if you're a pencil kind of person, and paper or a doc on your laptop. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a list of every single activity that you have been involved with since high school began, okay? So every club, every job or internship, paying or not, right? Babysitting counts, right? Pet sitting for all the people in your building counts, right? Every volunteer stunt. If you're a member of a church or synagogue group, write that down. Any extra classes that you take outside of school, any lessons you take outside of school or have anytime in the last 4 years, like write it down. Now, don't feel limited to just formal clubs and groups. So if you have like a hobby or an interest that takes a lot of your brain space and a lot of your time and energy, then it's legit. Okay. So write it down. So example, do you like spend hours upon hours making digital fan art in Adobe Illustrator, but it's like totally on your own time? It's just like this thing you like doing. Write it down, right? Are you organizing live action role playing games for your friends, right? Write it down. That actually shows a lot of organizational ability and leadership, frankly, right? Do you compose songs on the piano or did you teach yourself guitar? Write it down, even if no formal lessons were involved. So all of these or most of them, are going to make their way onto your activities list. So now I've got a question for you before we move on to our second step, and that is, have you already done a brainstorm like this before? If so, tell me in the comments below. Or if you haven't, tell me also in the comments below. I want to know where you're at. If you have done this before, I do encourage you to bring out your old brainstorm. And if I jogged your memory at all about anything you may have forgotten, please spend 5-10 minutes and write it all down. Okay. And while you're at it, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. And then that way, not only do you help my channel out, but you'll be the very first to know when I drop the latest in SAT, ACT, and college application tips, tricks, and hacks. Okay, now we're on to step 2, and that is we are going to refine our brainstorm. So next to each activity, you're going to write down these following things. You're going to write down which grade you did them in, like 9th through 12th grade. You're going to write down like a ballpark estimate of how many hours you spend on it weekly and like how many weeks out of the year you probably spend doing this activity. You're going to write down any titles that could be like leadership titles, any awards, any accomplishments that you have done. Try to be specific and use numbers where you can. Yes, you do get a separate awards section, but this step will help you determine kind of like which activities are going to be like the strongest ones so we can prioritize them in the later steps. Okay, so are we done with the refine stage? Amazing. So now we're going to go to step number 3, and that is group your activities. So if you're like the vast majority of students that I've worked with one-on-one to coach them through like the activities list and college application essay refinement, then you'll probably notice some common threads begin to emerge from your list of activities, right? So try to group them the best you can. Maybe all volunteering goes together for this stage. Group all the sports together. Maybe put all the studio art stuff together, all the music stuff together, pre-med, STEM, programming stuff. Maybe that goes together. Any like debate, student government, political stuff, that might be like a group. Babysitting, camp counselor, tutoring the middle schoolers in math, caring for kids, that all gets maybe its own group. So you get the idea. So that is step 3, is you are going to group your activities based on common themes and threads. So next we are going to prioritize our groups. So now is the time that we're going to make these sometimes tough calls about what order to present your list of activities in, right? So which group gets bumped to the top, right? This part is more an art than a science, so you may have to shuffle your list around a few times before it feels just right to you. So some tips that might help you with this, you might try writing out your list in pencil a few different ways and see which one feels most representative and really pops for you. You might put each individual activity on like its own post-it or note card and then shuffle the order around. That's been helpful for certain students of mine in the past. However, there are a few things to keep in mind. Ready? You probably want to put the group of activities with the most activities in it first. Chances are that's like a bigger theme for you, right? Now, if one of your activities or one of your groups of activities rather, is related to an area of study that you've indicated you want to pursue in college, like as a major or as a concentration, that probably gives that group a higher priority than something you've discontinued or that you don't plan on pursuing in the future. So as I mentioned, discontinued activities are going to be a lower priority on your list than ones that you currently do. So for example, let's say you have just as many activities in your fine arts group as you do in your sports category of activities, right? But you recently quit sports and now you only do like painting and watercolor and sculpture. So in that case, the fine arts is going to take priority over the sports and is probably going to be written first before the sports category. Make sense? Okay, so now that we prioritized the groups of activities, now we're moving on to step 5, which is prioritize the activities within the groups. What that means is that out of your fine arts category that you've decided gets bumped to the top, which one takes importance? Is it the internship that you did for an artist in your area last summer? Is it the studio classes and sculpting that you do outside of school every single week, etc.? So you need to put the individual activities within the group in order. So here are a few pointers to keep in mind. So activities that are the most recent should probably go before activities that you no longer do. Also, activities that take up more time, think like more hours per week of your time or more weeks per year that you're doing the activity, or activities where you have like more accomplishments associated with them should probably come before the ones that aren't as big of a time commitment and that you don't have any awards or titles attached. So another thing to consider, which is a really cool trick to make your list seem bigger than the 10 activities you're actually allotted, is do you have activities that act as a bridge between two different categories? If so, highlight that by putting it between them. Here's an example. Let's say you're doing fine arts and you're doing sports, and one of the things you did was you volunteered to do sports portraits for all the members of the local middle school basketball team. It was like a volunteer thing, but you're doing portraits in charcoal art, but it's for the sports team. So yes, it can be categorized as art, and you in the arts general category would go first, but maybe you put that as the last one because it starts talking about sports and then your sports group is next. So in a way, it's almost like the sports group got bigger because that arts one that had to do with sports was right next to it. So in a weird way, you kind of made each group bigger. Make sense? So now that we've done the overall structure of everything, which believe me, I think is 2/3 of the battle here, now it's the last step, which is rejigger your wording. Okay. So you are very, very short on space when you're writing about each of your activities. Specifically, here's what you actually have, okay? You have the position/leadership description where you get 50 characters max. You have the organization name, which oddly you get 100 characters for that. And then you have like the please describe this activity, including what you accomplished and any recognition you received. And you only get 150 characters for that. So like, how are you going to do that, right? So this is where we have to get smart. If you think about it, didn't I just mention 50 characters, 100, and then another 150? That's a total of 300 characters. So we can rejigger things and reorganize where we put the words so we get the most out of this. Okay, so these are my top 2 tips that I love. So for starters, you are going to squeeze as much information as you can into the position leadership description, which is 50 characters, and into the organization name, which is 100 characters. For example, instead of just like basketball, see if you can fit like varsity basketball, semicolon, captain, 12th, MVP, 10th, 11th. Like you managed to get like awards and titles and the years all in there, right? Instead of just singing or choir, maybe you write in those descriptions, ragazzi choir, tenor section leader, something like that. So in terms of this main description of each activity, complete sentences are like not the way to go. Like we don't have room, okay? So instead, what you're going to do is you're going to incorporate a diverse group of action verbs. Got it? So a few things to keep in mind about this. If you're still doing the activity, the verb is going to be present tense. If it's something that already happened or like the event is over now or you already accomplished that thing, or you no longer do the activity, it's going to be past tense verbs, okay? So keep that in mind. So here's an example of like way too long using sentences to action verbs separated by semicolons, okay? So the first one is, I tutor undeserved middle schoolers at the Thompson Community Center every Tuesday night in math and science. Last year, I was selected as tutor of the month. We can rewrite this and save tons and tons of characters like so. Tutor middle schoolers in STEM weekly at Thompson Community Center, semicolon. Selected as tutor of the month in 2024. Okay, so we probably have some more characters left. So you might also want to consider like, okay, if you have characters left, what else did you do? So you might go back to your brainstorm, and if you're stumped, Think of what were my daily tasks? Was I organizing the meeting? Was I presenting things? Was I raising awareness? Was I raising money? Was I drawing? Was I painting? Was I the liaison between the teachers and the staff of our school and the juniors? Like, what were you doing? Okay, day-to-day tasks. Were you calling up people from the community to donate to the cause? Like, whatever it is, right? What problem did you solve? Did you solve a problem? Was it like school level, family level, community level, state, national level? Like, what was the scope? Are you including enough details? Like, say you fundraised for something. Did you raise $5,000, right? Raised $5,000 for blah instead of just fundraised. Or, grew the group from 20 to 200 members in a semester. That would be like an accomplishment that you did. So once you have done all of these, and again, this is fine tuning because you got to fit it in these 150 characters, you, my friend, are done with your activities list. So again, if you follow these 6 steps, you should be able to cram the max amount of information you possibly can into your Common App activities list while also providing a clear and very favorable cross section of who you are and what you do and how you spend your time. Okay. So you may need to reorder and adjust your activities list a bit after you follow this process. But that's okay because you're going to keep rejiggering, reorganizing until it feels good to you. But at the end of the day, you will be able to communicate at a glance what your passions and your interests are to any college admissions counselor. So, best of luck to you. If you need help with this or college application essays, you know where to find me. IvyLoungeTestPrep.com, and you can contact me there. Best of luck to you.